Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
That is easily the most horrible thing I've heard in 3 years.
Okay. Well, on that note, hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Geeky. Gentlemen, I am Sid Part 2. Joining me today is Esplin227, aka Alex, Zazubar, aka Bill Worcester, and Milan Jeffnick 1992, and don't worry, that's his full name. Hi, guys!
Hi!
Alright, so, today, just to, announce our topic before we start, today we're going to be discussing which characters and or universes deserve video games. That can be comic, TV, movie characters, whatever. Which ones deserve good quality video games? But before we get into that, this is the current events thing, and I usually don't do, major current events, but this is just too much not to pass up. So, fucking YouTube, man.
Oh, Christ. No, fuck Google Plus, man. As a duo, fuck them both respectively.
They are Google Plus is that retarded little kid following the big guy. It's like, hey Tommy, can you make everyone make a Google Plus account for me? Yeah. And the big guy's like, that's Google. He's saying, all right, little Billy, I'll do what you want. Just remember, bend over tonight. and that's,
okay, Bill and I were talking about this, and I think what it is Google Plus was more or less a flop.
Oh,
and so,
putting it mildly.
Yeah, and so what they're trying to do
is Google Plus. I never understood what I was supposed to do with it.
It's like Facebook for Google.
Yeah, and what I think they're basically trying to do, what they're basically trying to do is take the YouTube social network, which it is and isn't at the same time, take the YouTube social network and make that into the Google Plus network to save face. And it's just real, and fuck it, I wouldn't care if I had to have a Google Plus account in order to have a YouTube account, but I want YouTube to still exist as fucking YouTube.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, YouTube has basically become just a portion of Google Plus. Now, if you go on your Google Plus page, YouTube is literally like a fucking underbar. And it'll take you to your channels page on Google Plus. Here's the confusing thing. I have unintentionally at least 4 different Google Plus pages because I've got 2 different accounts under my real name, Bill Worcester, and then I've got a fucking different one for Zazubar, which is shouldn't 2 of those be the same thing? Because it's all under one email address, and then I got another one that's for another email, and I'm just I don't know where the fuck I'm supposed to look to see what's going on. Because now, the thing that's really pissing people off, the new way you write comments, it's fucking annoying and overly complicated, but it's manageable. It's similar enough to the old way where it's once you get over that first hump, it's fine. The real issue here is the lack of an inbox. That is the problem.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. I just found out that there's no video responses anymore.
That's annoying, too.
Yeah, they're no one uses them. Everyone uses them.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone always says, put a video response, and, I've seen video responses, and I put video responses, and I love getting video responses. And they just say, well, only 0.4% of people click on them. But your base is millions of people. That's a big number.
Hundreds of thousands of people.
Here's the problem with the new YouTube outset. They're trying to weed out those subscribers, those YouTube users who don't post anything. Because the other big thing they're doing now that really fucking gets me, and Ian, I told you about this last night, is that now, unless you put it on a different default, the comment section first goes uploader comments, which it did anyway. Then it goes top comments, and then right below that, as opposed to putting them chronologically like it should, it's the comments by people with the most subscribers. which means
that's so biased.
that is fucking disgusting. It's
more than bias.
And
it's greedy. They just want more money. It's basically funneling out smaller channels and to funnel it to the people who are more likely to make more money for YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically 25%, like, no more than 25, like, 75% of comments are marked as spam. It's like, you have, like, 87 comments that could be spam. I look at them, none of them are fucking spam.
Yeah.
You
There's, like, 2 that are spam.
There are 2 where it's like, I don't know what this person is saying, but the rest of them is just like, these are legit comments. What the fuck, YouTube? And, Milan, you just reminded me. That's another thing that they've made as a big push by doing this new system through Google+. One is they claim that there's more control over comments, which I didn't even want to begin with, because they seem to think that this is going to somehow stop trolls, which I don't really see how, because...
The thing with this is, it's basically made stalking easier on YouTube, because... Like, sure...
Yeah, they want you to use your real name.
Exactly.
Which, you don't have to, but in order to not do it, you have to go in educated. You have to be like, alright, I don't want to use my Google Plus page, I want to create a Google Plus page for my YouTube channel, so I use my name. I use the YouTube name as opposed to my real name. But I had to, like, fucking read up on that to make sure that that's what was gonna happen. And then, the other thing, aside from control, is they seem to think that this is also going to make commenting easier.
It doesn't, because you gotta make sure... Like, I don't want to post a million things on Google Plus because I'm not that interested in it. I don't like the social networking things like Facebook. I mean, I only like Twitter because it's frivolous and short and fun, and it's impossible to create drama on Twitter, in my opinion.
Well...
You gotta really fucking try.
People do try.
You gotta really try to create drama with 140 characters. I'm just saying. But, like... You know, I don't like Facebook because it's just, I don't care what the fuck people are doing.
Yeah.
I like YouTube because I can produce things and I can consume things.
Exactly.
There's something there. There's substance.
Well, YouTube has always been a producer as opposed to a social network. It's a content sharing website, not a personal sharing website. And that's what people have always loved about it, is you get to put yourself out there without really putting yourself out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
like, you don't have to know where this person lives if you don't want to, and stuff like that.
Right,
and
and
that's what attracts, like, people like Deadpoolzilla to YouTube.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's loving this.
There's a good friend of ours, and he's a very private person, which is totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
But this is alienating people like him. You know?
Who, by the way, big content producer for YouTube with a wide fan base.
Yep.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like basically YouTube, if it wasn't like a site that people could go to, like, I stay on YouTube because it's like there's no other website like YouTube. If like the second,
it's a monopoly.
Exactly,
It really is.
Yeah.
The second YouTube, like I don't know, Vagina Tube comes on, and like
that's the thing.
That's the thing.
I mean, like
it's hot.
like some other, I'm sure it is. But basically, once, like, another website that does the same thing the original YouTube did comes online, I guarantee you this, like, 75% of YouTube's, like, people will go to that channel, and all the Shane Dawsons, all the nigga higgas, all the motherfuckers will dry up, because no one will fucking watch them. Because people will just say, fuck you.
Well, that's not what's going to happen, though. That's the problem, is YouTube is only able to pull this shit because they're a monopoly, and because they have established shows and content. And, like, that's the thing, the people that are high up on this don't fucking care because they're doing just fine. This doesn't affect them at all.
Right.
It only affects the lower class people of YouTube, like the people under 1,000 or so subscribers.
Your blue-collar YouTubers, so to speak.
Yeah, it only affects the level of people like us and below, because what it is it's getting harder and harder to get popular on YouTube because A, it's getting oversaturated, and B, YouTube keeps putting in all the shit that only spreads the more popular videos.
Exactly.
It just kind of puts our videos in a corner and is like, yeah, YouTube stuff for stuff like, you know, filmmaking, documentaries, and Freddie Wong. And don't get me wrong, I like all those things. Those are awesome. But then it's like, but it used to go hand in hand with the stuff we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, oh, and there are all these other people that post shit, but you shouldn't really watch them.
Well, here's the thing. It's like they like what they have now, and they're just pushing down the up-and-comers. Because it's like these people who, you know, they're big producers, they're Nigahigas, they're Smosh, whatever the fuck this shit is, that I don't watch half of. These people started off as basic video producers like us. And as you can see with people like us, there's definitely an evolution of the amount and the quality of the content that gets put out. And you're kind of hindering that evolution when you pull shit like this that makes using YouTube more difficult and more biased, because it prevents them from getting more popular, which I think, and I don't think this is going to happen anytime soon, but within the next, 3 or 4 years, could potentially lead to the death of YouTube. If it keeps...
30 or 40 years?
No, 3 or 4 years.
Oh, I was going to say, holy shit.
30 or 40 years. I would be like, I would be legitimately, shocked is an understatement if that was really what happened. Because,
so I'm like, no way.
That's a little bit much. But 3 or 4 years, if they keep this shit up, and they will, it could lead to its end. I think that's just the reality.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be the end. I think we're going to see kind of like a MySpace turn, where it's like, it's still around, but no one's on it. And it's like a completely different beast at that point that's completely unrecognizable. But speaking of MySpace, I was reading, since Twitter got on the stock market today, everyone's been doing clever little tweets online. Conan probably had the best one. He was like, screw all you nerds and your Twitter IPO news. I'm going to go to the MySpace yard sale.
That's great.
Alright, sorry everyone. We wanted to bitch about YouTube, and, you know, yes, it's an unlimited free streaming website. I get it. I shouldn't be complaining, but you don't have to... It's like the programmers just want to remind us they're around.
Yeah. Well, and again, the thing that really pisses us off here, just to sum it up, is they're making it more difficult for us to enjoy their service.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the thing that's really angering us at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's the fact that they just keep doing this stuff, and there's no consultation or notice about it either. And I mean, to be fair, when they did give notice, no one liked it, and then they kind of got over it when they did the new channel designs and stuff. But still, I'm unhappy.
You know what YouTube is? You know what YouTube is? It's basically the abusive husband. We are the battered wives.
Totally. I totally agree.
Yeah. It's basically, YouTube comes home from work, beats the shit out of us, merrily rapes us, and we have to okay, I'd hurt her for a while, but then I liked it, and then he comes home, every day it gets worse. After a few months it gets even worse. He comes home with syphilis. Then from syphilis it comes to AIDS, and YouTube is fucking us, and we're just accepting it. No! Burn it down, Austin!
We will not accept this! Milan, we're rising!
No,
Yeah.
we will rise!
You nailed it in that there is a difference between the things people complained about before and the things people complained about now. The channel change was a cosmetic change. Mm. You had all the same features, and it essentially worked the same way. Mm. Now,
but it was just annoying because we liked it the way it was.
Huh?
It was just annoying. It's like, why do I have to change it? I mean, it's still there.
I understand. What I'm saying is those changes were... There's a reason people got used to it. It's because it didn't really change the functionality. Now they're changing the comments. They're changing... They got rid of video responses. They're actually making it more difficult. Before, people will tolerate cosmetic changes before they start thinking of going to another website. But when you start breaking the things that made them come to your website in the first place, that's when you're basically digging your own grave.
I totally agree with that, yeah. See,
I think the problem is Google is like a work anything, you know, Google search, Google Maps, use those for not like necessarily in an actual job, but you use those for functional purposes.
Right, their applications.
And for a while now, Google's been trying to break into this like social aspect.
Right.
And I don't mind Google owning YouTube because that works because we got unlimited streaming for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't like that they're like trying so hard to enforce themselves in the social side. No, stick to what you're good at, Google. Be functional. Make me a car that drives itself and let me have my YouTube to watch in that car.
Right.
Okay. All right. We're done with this topic, I think, because otherwise we're just going to rant through the whole video.
With that.
Yeah, otherwise we're just going to rant through the whole video. But let's get to the actual topic, guys.
Yes.
This one's I'm actually fairly excited for. So, you know, I mean, it sounds like it's just going to be a list video. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk about characters and universes that deserve their own video games, but instead of just saying, this character, this character, this character, we're going to give reasons why we think it would work, and like light pitches for how it could work, alright?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're all like the three of us, Milan, Zazbar, and myself, we're casual to moderate gamers. Alex is much more hardcore than us, so he's going to have a bit more weight of opinion on this one, but I think this has places to go. So, who has an off-their-head suggestion for one? And, oh, wait, just real quick. If the characters already had a video game, that's fine, but you can't make it a sequel to something that's already out.
Right.
Let me just put that little bracket.
I got something. Basically,
Okay.
I remember playing Batman Begins on the PS2 as a kid, and I loved that game. And basically, especially also Superman Returns, the movie video game. And the funny thing that I've noticed, I enjoyed both games very much, but the thing that I've noticed was that both games, or at least Batman Begins, that movie tie-in video game, was actually quite good for a movie tie-in game. But when I played Arkham City City Asylum / those two games, I realized that kind of like Asylum was kind of Batman Begins was kind of a template for Asylum, because those two games have very similar mechanics, except in Asylum they are so much more well refined.
Yeah,
they're refined, and this is my pitch basically. Superman Returns, that game, it's had its problems, but I found it a lot of fun because it basically Superman didn't have a life bar, but the city did. So it was really interesting to it was very fun to play. It had some problems, but it was addicting. But maybe if they went about the same way with that game, with that basic template of you are Superman, you're flying around Metropolis, saving the city from, I don't know, meteors or whatever. Because I loved flying as Superman and just basically taking off in that game was amazing. And if Rocksteady kind of took that same template and did the same thing they did with Batman, but instead of used Superman Returns as a basic template and kind of elaborated and defined those mechanics a bit more, I think you could have a pretty good Superman game.
Milan, you just said possibly the most clever thing of how to do a Superman game, because that's always been the problem with Superman in a video game, is how do you do a life bar for Superman and have me take it seriously? And that's, I didn't realize that's what Superman Returns did. That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
The city has a life bar. That's insanely clever.
Right, well, the idea is Superman can't die, but he can fail his objective.
Yeah, I like that. That's clever.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good idea. The only thing is, I don't think Rocksteady is able to do DC games anymore, because they didn't do Arkham Origins, unless I'm wrong on that.
They could always come back to it, because everybody in Origins is credited, or everybody in Rocksteady is credited in Origins because they're using their engine.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
But yeah, I mean, something in that style would be awesome.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, Milan, I really do like that idea. That's actually really clever. You know, an Asylum like spin-off of, you know, a Superman game could be a lot of fun. Because there's nothing wrong with a Superman game. I mean, did anyone here play the Hulk game?
Ultimate Destruction? Ultimate Destruction.
Yes.
Oh, God,
I
awesome
fucking love that game.
What a fun game, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because just getting to go around and just be unstoppable is so much fun in a game and still have it be challenging,
Right.
you know?
Oh,
And funny
that's a
enough,
hard
they
game.
actually they took that same template for the Incredible Hulk movie tie-in game.
Oh,
It was
shit.
It was basically like Hulk Ultimate Destruction 2, but with the movie tie-ins. And I wanted to play that because from my Ultimate Destruction disc is dead. It's basically all scratched up from overuse. But I wanted to play Incredible Hulk video game, that movie tie-in game, because it just seemed exactly like Ultimate Destruction to me. But I couldn't get my hands on it, so I'm a sad boy.
It was not as nearly as good. The problem with that game is, like, the open world aspect is fine. The graphics are awful.
Yeah,
And
that's most
there's
games.
some really bad mission structure. It's fun at points, but you know, I wouldn't mind seeing another Hulk game just to throw one out there. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think Ultimate Destruction's a good template to go for. You need more supervillain fights.
Yeah, and also just do more with the universe, because the game had a decent story. They got an actual Hulk writer to write it, so that was a good move. But I'd like to see another one on the next gen console.
All right, Alec, how about you? What do you got swirling around in your little brain?
My things maybe aren't as recent as yours, but I've had a few ideas. Mainly due to the change I've seen in games, the ability to make games that have a completely different mechanic. You all have seen Heavy Rain, right?
Yes.
And The Walking Dead by Telltale Games.
I heard that's really good.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, it has one of the most emotionally powerful endings. I've seen 3 playthroughs, and all 3 people who played it cried at the end. Grown men, mind you. I almost cried, and it's very hard to make me cry. But that's beside the point. The point is...
Alec, I just killed a puppy.
Yeah, I don't care. It's not...
Cold and heartless asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I'll save it if it's here, but it's... Anyway,
my ass.
Yeah, it's no skin. The thing about that game was it's very conversation heavy. It's about making decisions that people will remember, how they react to you. So action games are great. I love them. But now that we can make games as involved as movies, but much longer and more in depth, because very few movies have ever made me cry like The Walking Dead brought me to the edge of. I have never been so affected by characters. I want to see old IPs. I want a Clockwork Orange game.
Oh, shit.
I fucking Clockwork motherfucking Orange. I want complex. I want it to be a mix of conversation-heavy game and Grand Theft Auto-esque open world. I want to see what the world of Clockwork Orange. They're weird, like abstract British future, but not really future, and the dialogue would be amazing. That's what I want. You know what I mean? I want...
Anyone here ever read Clockwork Orange?
Man, that's a good
No, but I saw the movie.
I've read
The movie's damned accurate. I love the book. It's so weird because the whole book's written in first person, and he speaks slang the entire time.
He does. I tried to read it. To be fair, I tried to read it a while ago. I wasn't my reading comprehension wasn't as good, so it was just really fucking hard. I couldn't get through it because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But
well, you're black. You should be able to pick up slang like 10 times faster than everyone else.
I'm not that kind of black.
Like I got a friend, and he is black, and he has, I swear to God, I quit hanging out with him for this reason. Every week he had a new word. It's like I couldn't fucking handle it. I'm like, God damn it.
Can I just throw something out there really quick? Probably won't even be a tangent.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use the word ill as a good word, as a positive adjective. I find it annoying.
I will use it. I will use it even more now that I know you find
No,
it
because
annoying.
I was in school today, and someone was telling me about, what were they talking about? Some game. And he goes, that game was ill, man. And I looked at him and I was like, I just want to murder you right now. Don't fucking say that. And this comes from me, a guy who uses the word sick as a descriptive word.
Which is funny.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. It makes me a total hypocrite. And I know, but it just bothers me. I don't know why. Anyway.
I don't know, like, I just find when, I don't know, like, this is completely superfluous, but I don't like it when white people try to talk like, well, try to mimic how they think black people talk. And, like, this doesn't happen as much as it used to, but when I was when I was like 2-3 years ago, where the wigger was still a thing, I just wanted, oh my god, like, there was a couple of wiggers in my school, and I was like, no, dude, don't come near me. I just spoke Russian to them. They're like, hey,
you know what, Alec, can you and I have a conversation in jive, please?
Oh.
When I say I'm not that kind of black person,
He's just like,
I have trouble understanding accents that white people can understand. I seriously am completely incapable of doing any type of accent. I'm incapable of understanding accents.
I just wanted to reenact the scene from Airplane, dude. I just wanted to reenact the scene from Airplane.
Oh, I love that scene. That's awesome. It's like, I was in my class was like a 5th grade, 4th grade mix when I was in 5th grade, and there was a janitor that would come in. Everyone understood what he was saying but me. The white kids, the black kids. He was not speaking words. It was not fucking words. And he would talk to me. I don't know why he would. It was weird. It's like he homed in on my cluelessness. And I'd be like, yeah. And
like, that's a good
I was around me that wasn't the right answer. And I'm like, I mean, no. I don't know what you're saying.
Okay. Let's get back. Alec, I really do love that idea. So, like, all right, so you said open world conversation and like Grand Theft Auto. So kind of like Skyrim is, I guess.
Yeah.
Or as I prefer to call it, Skirm.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I don't know why. It's just like the first time I read it, I immediately corrected it in my head. But the very first time I saw the title of Skyrim, for some reason I went Skirm. No, Skyrim. But I just prefer to call it Skirm.
It almost sounds like you're deliberately, like, as part of an accent, not pronouncing the Y. I don't know. It sounds like something someone would actually say.
Skirm.
Anyway, no, yeah, kind of like Skyrim though, where it's you got the cool ass action scenes, but you also have a lot of conversation and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, not first person, but yeah, I get what you're saying. And the conversations. Well, you've played games like that. Mass Effect might be a better example.
Right. Fallout 3.
Yeah. One more thing about the idea of having a game about Clockwork Orange. You see, I tried reading the book, or at least listening to it in an audiobook format, and I could not understand what the fuck they were saying. Like, they were trying, like, I understood the basic outline, like, 10-year-old girl is getting molested, yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, they would just use Russian words really badly out of context. I'm like, what the fuck are they...
It's not out of context, it's slang.
Yeah, it's like a future slang thing.
It's like Batman Beyond.
It's like...
Yeah, it's exactly like Batman Beyond. It's like slag. And
Shway. I love shway. I use that every now and then as a real word. I'm like, that's shway.
I actually use shway a lot.
Yeah.
And occasionally you'll meet someone that knows it, and they'll be like, yeah, totally shway.
I have a friend who's a big DCAU guy, so he gets it whenever I say it. But like whenever I say it to like just a random guy, I'm just like, that's shway. He's like, what the fuck is he insane?
You know one thing though, with Clockwork Orange. I mean, it's still not a good movie, but people do not give, what's his name? Joel Schumacher enough credit for Batman and Robin having a Clockwork Orange reference.
Really?
What scene was that?
When Robin and Batgirl, as, what's his name? Dick Grayson and Barbara Pennyworth.
Whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah, when Dick Grayson and Barbara Pennyworth are at the motorcycle race, and you see all the gangs, there's like the neon guys, and you see the Clockwork Orange guys there.
Yes, I remember this now. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
like, you can say what you want about Schumacher, but I fucking, like, I think he could do, like, a really good Batman movie, because his, like, directing style is just so off the wall.
I agree.
Like, there's
Yeah, I mean, you watch Phone Booth. He has certainly got the chops for it. He just had a lot of, like, studio pressure to do a lot of crazy shit.
Those are not his movies. Those are Warner Brothers movies with his directing style thrown in every now and then.
Like, I don't even hate the neon look. I just think that it was overused.
I just love the overused neon look. It was just, if it was a little bit dirtier and a little bit more gritty, I think it would have been just fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
and don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong, that guy looked really cool that had all the neon shit in his, like, dreads and had, like, the skull neon painted on his face. That looked fucking cool, but, like, I would not believe that he's the leader of a gang and that I should fear that person, because all I could imagine is that dude spending fucking hours in it.
Yeah.
Putting on neon makeup and braiding his hair.
And he just walks around with those...
Woman, hang on a minute, I'm still putting on my face.
And he walks around with those fucking neon contact lenses. Do you know how toxic those fucking things are? He's like, hey, oh, fuck, my eyes are swollen to 6 times their own size. Fuck.
He's sitting in his doctor's office like 20 years later, and the doctor's just like, dude, you got some fucked up eyes.
What the hell happened to you?
20 years later, he's fucking blind.
He's like, the doctor's like, I don't know how to tell you this, but your eyes have, like, expanded to, like, twice the normal size of a human eye. Well, my biggest problem with the Schumacher Batman films visually is how the architecture of Gotham City doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's
there's just a giant naked man in the middle of the city.
Like, it's seriously Godzilla size.
There's like a giant Olympian man just holding like a fucking like room in the middle of his hand, and I'm like, how the fuck did they build this shit? It's like
it
fucking
doesn't matter. It's amazing. It's a gay man's paradise. There's just gargantuan statues of naked men just slap dab in the middle of the city, holding up like one-room apartments.
And then when Schumacher came out all those years later, you're like, oh, that's.
Yeah,
so cool.
Let's get off of Joel Schumacher.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, you have yet to name one.
Yes, I had a bunch of ideas about mine, but you know, all of them have had games before. I would say my two biggest. First one, Godzilla needs a better game, man. I mean, I love Save the Earth, but I'm not a big fan of fighting games. I'm a bigger fan of like, put me in an open world. Let me go around destroying stuff. Like Hulk Ultimate Destruction, I think, is a good template. Like, go around destroying buildings, and in each different city you go to, there's a new giant monster to fight. And then you work a story around that. I think that's a really good template for a different Godzilla game, because I'm so fucking sick of the fighting games. Every Godzilla game since the late 90s has been a fucking fighting game.
Bill,
and I'm just like...
Bill, have you played World War Monsters, or it's like
War
this
of Monsters?
War of the Monsters.
Yes, I have. That's another good template. I mean, the only thing is there you can't destroy buildings, but
oh yes, you can. You just hit them hard enough and they just collapse.
Yeah, but they fall. Yeah, but they fall on the monster, and then the monster dies because they're too small.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm talking about like I want Godzilla run through fucking buildings.
Kaiju. Yeah,
exactly. I want fucking Godzilla running through fucking buildings. Just like, nothing hurts him. And
I want 1990s Godzilla.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I want
best looking Godzilla before he got fucking weird. Remember, like, Godzilla 2000? Why is his jaw so pulled back? Like,
I like the 2000 suit. It's a little bit too small, but I like the 2000 suit.
It's kind of weird. The face is weird looking.
Yeah, it's definitely weird, but I do enjoy that too. My whole thing is just like, I want a Godzilla where I can leave a city in nothing but flames. I want to turn around and be like, good work, Bill, good work, and then turn back around to go back to the city.
Bill, I'm just sensing some sociopathic tendencies here.
See?
Like, I just want to see the world burn.
Fucking Batman's watching a Godzilla attack on fucking TV, And he's just like, oh my god, Alfred, that's so terrible. And he's like, yup, Master Wayne, some things just want to watch the world burn.
No. Batman is just listening to the Geeky Gentleman
It's a pretty good Alfred.
No. Batman is like sitting there listening to the Geeky Gentleman's like, oh, I gotta put an eye on Bill. He's talking some crazy shit.
That's so awesome if Batman feels the need to watch over me. That was a good self-esteem.
No, dude, no, you're missing out on what this is. Everybody get on Twitter right now. Batman watches the Geeky Gentleman, so
yeah! That's fucking hashtag right there. Batman GG. Anyway, I think a mix of Hulk Ultimate Destruction and kind of Batman Arkham Asylum type structure, where you go to each of these environments and you have a certain objective, but at the end of it you fight okay, you go to Manila and you fight fucking Anguirus. You go to fucking
oh my god, that's so awesome. I'm sorry, I'm a Godzilla nerd too. So.
Yeah, so it's like
I'm getting these references and I'm getting happy.
You go to fucking San Francisco and you're like, oh shit, there's fucking Rodan. And you go to all these different places and it's just like, and then final boss, not King Ghidorah, fucking destroy ya. You fucking end the game.
No, Bill, it's not destroy, it's a destroyer.
No, that's how you fucking pronounce it. Anyway, but the other idea I had was I did a video recently about the Peter Jackson King Kong game in 2005, which holds up.
It's excellent.
Yeah, and one of the things that really holds up about that game that a lot of games like that wouldn't usually do is you get to have two co-aligning campaigns with totally different gameplay styles. You got Kong stuff and you got Jack stuff. And I think in a Godzilla game you don't need that as much because, we want to see Godzilla fight the monsters. But I think that there is definitely a place for a human story that co-aligns with what's going on with the monsters. That could be done as either a first-person shooter or a third-person shooter. And also, if you do that, you can do a scene where the fucking soldiers hop inside fucking either the Super X or Mecha Godzilla, and
it's gotta be Mecha Godzilla.
Well, it could be both, and you just fucking get to decimate some of the monsters.
The Super X, what was that again? Was that flying thing?
Yeah, that was the vehicle they used in The Return of Godzilla. There was two versions of it. Then there was the one in Biollante, and then there was the one in Destroy.
I remember that one.
Bill,
That's
Bill,
right. Oh, yeah, I want to fly that thing.
I want to fly that. I want to fly the second one. Fucking giant mirror on the front that just flaps.
The one I love.
It's fucking awesome, man.
That was such a good movie. I loved Biollante. That was my favorite.
Biollante as well.
Oh yeah, Bill.
Yes.
I got basically Godzilla Final Wars, the comic book on my iPad. Yay! And
What book?
Final Godzilla. 30-Year War. I think that's.
Half-Century War. Okay, I was like.
Oh, Half-Century.
Final Wars comic? What the fuck?
And then a Half-Century War on my iPad, and I'm looking through it now, and I'm like, this should be a great template for a video game. You're just like
I agree. I would love to see. Well, and the organization they use in that is fine, but I would be so much more over the moon if you get to play as G-Force soldiers. Because I fucking love G-Force from the 90s Godzilla series, and just to be like, alright, you are now playing as fucking Major Karagi from Godzilla vs. Biollante. Fuck yes!
God, man. This is a good idea. Now I'm mad.
Now I'm mad!
This is one of the oldest
games
things
that Bill dreamed up does not exist.
Yeah, how is this not made? It's like, how have... Oh my god. Think of how old Godzilla is.
To design video games. I need someone that knows how to program with Unity.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like we can make this fucking game.
Every time you ask about the programming thing, it reminds me of how much of a failure I am.
Every time
you're supposed to be a game designer 9 years ago.
Well, goddammit, Alec, learn how to program.
Yeah, bitch. Dude, Alec, if you learn how to program a video game, I will give you a blowjibba.
A blowjibba?
Bitch, you know you can do it either way.
You'll do that anyway.
Yeah. I know, but this time Alec will have the added bonus of knowing that he deserved it.
Okay, anyway. Bill, that's actually really interesting. You got your whole fanfare of Godzilla. That sounds great. Alright, so I got two.
Okay.
And I'm sure neither of these will come as a surprise to anyone who's a fan of my channel.
No.
So, Green Lantern or Doctor Who?
Oh, Doctor Who is what I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, Doctor Who has had video games before, but none of them have been, like, particularly amazing.
No.
I think the best way to do a Doctor Who game would be... Alright, now stay with me here. There are, we'll just say for the sake of argument, since it'll take a couple years to develop, there are 12 playable characters, okay? And you can pick any of the 12 Doctors. And it's open world. And anyone... And it's open world and it's online only. And you get the TARDIS, you can customize the interior of your TARDIS, you can pick any of the Doctors. And you all run around and you can run into yourself constantly and go on missions with yourself.
That is
awesome.
Hold on. Isn't that, like, impossible in the Doctor Who universe since, like...
No, there are episodes called... There's an episode called The Three Doctors.
There's multiple times where the Doctor meets different incarnations of himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's they don't do it that often on the show because they want it to be special, and they don't want to, like, overuse it, and they don't always want to bring back the actor again and again and again, or they can't bring back the actor again and again and again. Fuck you, Christopher Eccleston!
Yeah, damn it, Eccleston, like... The Day of the Doctor could have been awesome, and it's still going to be awesome, but it's like it could be even more awesome.
Right, but anyway...
Wait, Eccleston refuses to go on to be, like, to cameo at least?
Nope.
Oh,
he won't do it.
He's not a fan of that show anymore. Even when he made it, he wasn't a fan of it, because he had a bad experience when he made it.
I can't help but feel I'm missing a bit of context here.
Christopher Eccleston was the 9th Doctor. He's the one that played the Doctor when the series came back in 2005. He was only on for one season, and then he regenerated, and David Tennant played the Doctor. And Eccleston just has not touched the show since.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's really disappointing that, you know, there's an actor that still looks like he can do the part because he's not too old for it yet, and he's a really great actor, and he's not really doing a whole lot. He was in Thor, or Thor 2 rather, but I mean, he's not doing that much, so it's not like he's over.
He's either being in G.I. Joe or he's being in Thor. So let's give this guy some work.
Really good Doctor?
Oh, God, I love Eccleston. I love me some Eccleston.
Oh, okay, so maybe I'll watch it.
I loved him as the elf in Thor 2. He was a great elf.
I haven't seen it yet. Please don't spoil anything.
Wait,
we won't.
It's out already?
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering what the hell. It's like, what do you mean he was in Thor 2? It's not, but I guess it's out. All right, then.
Came out today.
See.
Yeah, but anyway,
So
here's my pitch for a Doctor Who game. All right, so you have an open world, and, like, the only time you get loading screens is when you're switching planets or time periods. So that makes sense.
Right.
You just get, or not a loading screen, kind of like Jack and Daxter did this when they needed to load a level. Instead of just loading, they had you get in an elevator, and it just took a door a long time to open because it was a really secure area. So that's what you do. You just would get in the TARDIS, and you just would, like, have to, like, run around the TARDIS and try to stay on your feet.
Right, or even just, like, have him randomly flipping keys. Just, like, it's almost like a QuickTime event. You just have the Doctor running around flipping sticks and pressing buttons.
And that's your loading screen for when you're changing planets or worlds. And you have, like, the spawn spots for TARDISes, you know, be reasonably far apart so you don't constantly see other versions of the Doctor, like, just, you're running around and just Doctor, like, over and over again. But you can run into yourself and, like, run up to him. It's like, I need your help on this. Can you help me right now? And he's like, no, I can't. I'm in the middle of something. Or, yeah, totally, let's do it. And then you can be online with another version of the Doctor, and it would be awesome. And you could, like, pick up companions and stuff.
Yeah.
You can meet other characters and have them be a companion.
Customizable companions would be fucking awesome.
Right? And you could totally just have so much fun. You can get an arsenal of gadgets and just do all... And you can fight any alien or enemy the Doctor's ever had. You can introduce new enemies for the game. It'd be so much fun.
Well, here's the thing. You can't really have him be fighting traditionally, like, because...
Well, yeah, obviously there's no, like, punch, kick...
Unless you're the third Doctor, then you can kick some ass.
right?
So is that a thing that the Doctor doesn't even fisticuffs?
Well, no, I mean, the third Doctor did. The third Doctor like, kicked ass.
Beat the shit out.
The third Doctor just beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
But he's like a genius, and he doesn't like to fight people. He's a pacifist.
Yeah, after that.
It's out of character is basically.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he can fight. He's punched things.
Yeah, like fucking Hercules Eccleston will beat the shit out of people.
That sounds like something I would say if you asked me if I've ever fought. It's like, well, I've punched things.
Well, no, I mean, just like, so you'd have to play around with exactly how the combat system works. It'd probably be a better stealth game.
Or puzzle.
Because that's the thing about stealth games is you're relatively weak. You just got to figure out ways to distract everybody or make things work.
Right.
Yeah.
Trap them.
Or kind of like a hiding out in the open kind of game thing. So I think that has a lot of potential to work. And my pitch for Green Lantern is very much the same. Not online only. There'd be an inbuilt story mode. And I'd want it to play a lot like Ratchet and Clank, but work in an element that's kind of like Spore. Instead of creature creation, construct creation. So you can make your own weapons and devices and like decide what power level they have and how much energy expenditure. You could get bars that like, all right, you can have this much power, but it'll expend this much energy. So you could potentially have a construct that just wipes out every enemy on the field, but then you have no ring energy left. Or
fucking nuke.
And for the combat in that, the thing is, Green Lanterns, you only get in the story of the Green Lantern. They're originally 3,600. Jeff Johns expanded it so that there are 7,200 and 3,600 sectors, right? So this is sectors of the entire fucking universe. These guys should be able to take on armies no problem. So that's what I think you should be able to do as far as combat goes. You should be fighting armies every other planet. And then on some planets, you have to solve puzzles, and other planets, you have to, if you're up for it, do diplomatic stuff. Help solve political issues on other planets. It should be a galactic game. That would be awesome.
Right, yeah, that'd be cool.
For the army fighting scenes, have you played? It's that Japanese game. It's the one where Destiny Warrior or whatever. Basically, you're one guy just beating
Warrior, where it's like game over and over again.
I've heard those games are awful.
Dynasty Warrior. I heard those were just an insanely fun beat 'em up. But basically, Dynasty Warrior aren't you just like one guy with a stick beating up like legions of people?
Essentially.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like Green Lantern, so you can have a lot of fun with it. You can like send out tanks and
oh my god.
And shit.
Wait, Ian, does Green Lantern kill?
Sometimes.
Okay.
They don't like. They're not like Punisher with it. They're supposed to be like actual cops when it comes to
Right, okay. So they can kill, they're not always killing.
Yeah, they're not supposed to. They're supposed to arrest first, but they can kill.
Okay. Yeah, you can't not kill if you're fighting like intergalactic armies.
Right.
Well, no, I mean, it used to be that they couldn't kill, but then it was like a really fucking awesome-ass moment. It was in the... Just let me talk about this for a second, since I know a lot of people haven't read the Sinestro War. Alright, so... the Sinestro Corps War was kind of toward the middle of Jeff Johns' initial run on Green Lantern, and it was where Sinestro, Green Lantern's like quintessential bad guy, his Lex Luthor, his Joker, what have you, formed his own corps of Yellow Lanterns, which, when I say that, it sounds like fucking Power Rangers, but I swear it's awesome. And like, they're just decimating the fuck out of the Green Lantern Corps, just, hundreds of lanterns are dying. And then all of a sudden the Guardians come on the comlink and they're like, we don't have time for this, we're in the middle of a battle. We have revoked the do not kill policy. And suddenly, like, it's just the rings are now enabled to kill people. And that's awesome. It's just like this big dramatic
just
thing.
Fucking bloodbath.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I guess.
Just fucking like...
So yeah, I mean, like, you should be able...
I don't even...
One panel later, Green Lanterns are just covered in blood.
Right?
Like, we are now the Scarlet Lanterns.
Yes.
Right.
Emerald blood. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and I think that you could do boss fights with or you could do like see, the interesting thing about the Green Lantern universe, as Johns has set it up, is as far as the other Lantern Corps go, not counting Black Lanterns, there is no exact bad guy. Larfleeze, the Orange Lantern, he's kind of an asshole, but he keeps to himself more or less, unless he really wants something. Red Lanterns are kind of, mad dogs, but they're not evil per se. They're like Punishers in space.
Yeah.
And and the Yellow Lanterns eventually did kind of simmer down to just be these like Batman in space characters, but they're willing to kill as well.
Batman.
So you could actually get into really interesting, fights with them over what the right thing to do is with this criminal and stuff. So you could do detective work. Yeah, you could do a lot with that universe in a video game,
right.
I think. And the idea of construct creation just sounds so cool to me, You can play with levels and make, like, the object. So you want a mace or you want a sword or whatever. You want it to look like this particular way. Like Spore did, where it was really intuitive, really easy to make.
Oh, so basically before the game starts out, basically you go in under this, construct creation center, and you basically create like a trillion, constructs, and you basically make, how in the Arkham games have,
let's say,
let me explain. Basically, you create your own constructs, and then you basically put them in like segments. Batman's utility belt in the Arkham games. Basically,
kind of like that.
Yeah, you put the slots of which one you want. So basically, while fighting, you're just like, okay, I want a mace now. Boom! I want to train, hit this motherfucker. Yeah!
Oh, shit, that'd be awesome. Just like, fucking train, motherfucker, train!
Yeah, and you'd have to watch your energy bar and stuff with it. And, I think that you'd probably want it to be quick and streamlined. So you'd probably want, the X button to be jump, and then, maybe, this square... I'm using a PS3 controller. The square, circle, and maybe the left and right trigger, the L2 and R2, would probably be the best buttons because they're really quick to push and usually don't serve an immediate function. Like X is usually jump, triangle's usually look around or something. So if you had just those quick buttons, you got 4 buttons that you can assign just an instant construct to, I think could really work out.
Yeah, it could. That sounds excellent.
I would play that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I did a playthrough of the movie Green Lantern game with Bobby, and it's got some of the dynamics. I'm borrowing some of the dynamics, kind of like Milan was, from that game. For a movie game, it's actually really fun. I mean, the graphics, shitty. But for a movie game, if you play through it, it's got co-op. If you play through it with a friend, it's actually quite enjoyable. Because you can switch out your weapons and stuff. The way they handle your level of power is really annoying because you do 1 or 2 big constructs and you're, scrounging around to try to get more willpower energy. And it's like, God damn it, just give me more energy.
Right.
So I can have more fun with this.
I must increase my willpower.
Yeah, just give me more energy so I can have more fun with this, and instead of having me spend, forever fighting just 1 or, 5 or 10 people, throw an army at me and let me just have a bunch of energy to get rid of them with, You know
what I meant? One little thing about video games. I love Batman Begins, the movie tie-in game, because you could just scare the shit out of people. But they didn't have that mechanic in the Arkham games, which kind of made me sad. I'm like, I just love hearing... Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know, but they basically, in the Batman Begins game, they had the heartbeat, and they just kind of start freaking out, like, what the fuck is going on, man? And then you come up behind them and like, oh my god, don't kill me! They're literally shitting their pants, terrified. But they kind of had that in the Arkham games, but not to the extent that I wanted to have it. But yeah.
Milan's just fucking sociopath over here. I just want to go around scaring shit out of people. Literally.
Exactly. That's what I'm gonna do. That's my plan. I'm just gonna start dressing up as a clown and standing outside the windows of children's houses. Just a child is just in the house. I'll stand outside their window in a clown costume, just pointing at their window, just in the hopes that they would come outside and look out the window and just see me grinning like a lunatic pointing at them. I want to be that Freddy Krueger moment that inspired that guy, the director, Craven, Chris Craven.
Wes Craven.
Wes Craven to create Freddy Krueger. I want to be the inspiration for next generation's Freddy Krueger.
Let me just say
Okay,
this,
anyway.
out of context, that was the most horrifying thing I've ever walked in on.
Yeah, anyway,
I went
just one more thing with the Green Lantern and Doctor Who games. If in this mystical universe where I get to be the runner on both of these games, the overseer, whatever you want to call it, on both of these games, I would totally make reference to each other. Like, in the Doctor Who game, you'd get to explore your TARDIS, and just randomly in a pile of junk he has, you just see a Green Lantern power battery. And in the Green Lantern game, you'd be exploring a world, and you just see the TARDIS parked somewhere.
Holy
You'd go up to it,
dude,
enter.
The Doctor gets a Green Lantern.
It's press X to open door. X. The door is locked. Press X to unlock door. X. We cannot unlock this door.
Ian. The 11th Doctor gets a Green Lantern ring.
That would be insane.
The universe is fucked.
You know, just because I haven't had a chance to say this, I really want to make a picture of the Doctor and have it say #YOLO, and then have that crossed out.
That's kind of awesome.
Well, you know my joke. I like to say YOLT.
You only live 12 times?
No, you only live twice.
Oh, okay. James Bond.
I just want to test out that theory, how you only live once.
Let's not test out that theory only because I'm not really feeling it today. Maybe in
well,
maybe
basically what I'm...
Well, maybe in
Wait, Bill. I think we might have finally come to the time where Milan has to either commit suicide or murder someone on air because he's painted himself into this corner.
Oh, no. Let me explain. It's not me. What I want is Alec. I want you to come down to my basement, and I'll strap you into this, I hate to call it...
No, we're not doing this on recording. I'm sorry.
But
no.
it's a death chair, and it's not going to be...
No.
With Alec's mind enough tonight.
No. I'm going to bring him back. I'm going to have a defibrillator thingy. So it's basically, I'm just going to gas you, and then when you die...
All right, guys. Milan, stop. Alright, so... Yeah, we've each got our pitches out there for different kind of games. Does anyone else have any just random floating around their heads that they also wanted to throw out? Okay, Bill, what you got?
List, but you said no list, so.
No, that's fine. You can list them out. I just didn't think that we'd have huge lists of a million characters. But if you got a bunch, just throw them out.
Yeah, but here's
Kill Bill game. How do we not fucking have that yet?
That's true.
We need a kick-ass game again. What the fuck? It needs to be called Hit Girl.
Yeah, Ian, you still.
This is kind of weird, but I want a Blade Runner game. A good open world Blade Runner game, and I want it to play. Do you remember which one was it? Jak and Daxter that had the flying cars.
You love Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, it already had the flying cars, and just. It can be done if you make a huge world. Basically do the fucking Blade Runner world and make it huge and sprawling, and you have to hunt down the AIs, right? And then partway through the game, you need to decide whether you agree with that idea. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically, actually, you know what would be cool? If all those, 70s era, Neuromancer, Android's Dream, Electric Sheep, all that be just in one universe, and you can play, you can just, that can be referenced all in one game. Just classic, just giant sci-fi game that focuses all on that cyberpunk era stuff.
I think they call that Futurama.
No, that's
yeah.
No, Futurama is more it had a game and it was fun. I remember playing it at my Incan friend's place.
A game out of that, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good actually. I remember having fun with it. It was hard
Simpsons
as fuck.
had some good games too.
Oh, Hit and Run! Simpsons
Hit and Run was awesome.
Oh my god!
Hit and Run was a fun fucking game.
On the skateboard.
Oh yeah, that was the Yeah, I remember that one as well. But Hit and Run, dude, you could drive around fucking Springfield and shit. Oh god, that was fun.
Why didn't I never play this game?
It was fun. You could drive through the nuclear power plant and shit. It was so much fun.
Oh, that's safe.
Yeah. The other one that I wanted to throw, the other major one, because I have a list as well, but I don't really have vivid ideas for the rest of them. Other big one. I want an objectively good James Bond game. Everybody's like, N64 GoldenEye is awesome. I'm like, but it doesn't hold up. Like, it's important for the first-person shooter genre, but it doesn't hold up as a good game. And
Time Splitters does.
What?
Time Splitters does, made by the same people that did GoldenEye, but it was on Time Splitters 2 and 3, not the first one.
Is this the arcade game?
No, it was a PS2 game.
I don't remember
both
this.
of them were. Oh my god, it's so much fun. It had a map maker, and it had a bunch of different kind of like arena style games. There was like, deathmatch and versus and capture the flag. But there was also like crazy things like Virus, which was kind of like tag, except once one person got it and then they touched another person, both of them had it, so it spread and you had to be the last one alive.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Alright, so those were all fun games, but you get bored with the maps, and you get bored with the guns and the characters.
Exactly.
And, you only usually have 5-6 characters. So what does Time Splitters do? Oh, you can unlock more guns and more characters. Oh, and guess what? There's a fucking map maker.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with the original GoldenEye. It's only fun if you have nostalgia for it, and if you just appreciate that simpler first-person shooter style where you just walk around a map and try and kill each other. Like, that's all it's got. And also you get to play as, like, fucking Oddjob and throw your hat at people. That's awesome. And put that in the new Bond game and I'll be happy. But here's the thing. They recently put out 2 Bond games very recently that were good. 007 Legends was ass. But before that, they put out Bloodstone 007 and GoldenEye Reloaded. I have GoldenEye Reloaded. It's fine. It's very, very Call of Duty inspired, and that can make it boring, but it's playable.
Bill, you know what they should do?
What should they do?
Basically, they should make a James Bond game, but introduce some sort of element of time travel, so you can basically play as all the James Bonds.
Hang on, I was getting to that. Hang on.
No. Basically, it's a game that shifts through time. So like you're like Connery in one mission, and then and you have this giant interweaving plot that will decades long conspiracy.
Milan, they did that. 007. That's exactly what 007 Legends is. Except you don't get to play as the different Bonds, but that's what they do, basically. You get to relive those missions, except it's awful. But my idea is, because Bloodstone 007 was the other game that came out at the same time as GoldenEye. It's not very good, but there's a lot of good ideas in it. There's, it's a third-person game, there's some stealth elements in there, you get to do some assassinations and shit, you get to do some driving missions, you get to, run over rooftops and just shoot people. It's got the Bond elements in there, and it's got a kooky plot to go with it. I think that if you get a writer who is a big fan of some of Ian Fleming's more larger novels, like a guy who really likes the original Thunderball, or the original On Her Majesty's Secret Service, get a guy who knows that shit. Actually, this is going to sound weird, Paul Dini would write one hell of a Bond game.
Oh, yeah,
He's a really big Bond fan, so I would love it if Paul Dini would write either a Bond game or a Bond movie. And you just do an original story. You don't have to get Daniel Craig to play Bond, but if you want to, whatever. Whoever the current Bond is. And you just fucking tell an original story, and you do it kind of like a mix between, almost Gears of War and Batman Arkham Asylum, where you have the stealth of Batman Arkham Asylum, and you have kind of the shooting of Gears of War, where it's really, really fun and fast third-person shooting. So I think that would be really cool. You put some car missions in there, you put some stealth missions in there, some spying missions where you have to kind of be another person and go into these places, kind of like On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I think you can make one hell of a game. And by the way, let me just say this. Somebody needs to make Jeremy Irons a Bond villain before he dies. This
Oh, yeah.
done. This has to happen. Just saying. That's my idea.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, Milan, just to get back to the point you said, I think it'd be really fun if you could do a deathmatch mode in the online version where you get to play, or all the different Bonds are played against each other.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So you got, like, fucking Connery with his hat, fucking using the cigar gun from fucking, what was it, You Only Live Twice. Roger Moore's got the magnetic watch with the laser. Fucking, oh, that'd be so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Milan, did you have any other ones, like, shooting around that little messed up brain of yours?
Well, you guys really did bring up some really great ideas. But you know what would be interesting? If they did, this was already kind of attempted. Back in the 90s, they tried to do a Daredevil game. It was kind of, you know when the Spider-Man, the original PlayStation 1 and 2 Spider-Man games came out?
Yeah.
Daredevil kind of showed up for some reason. And they actually advertised it at the back of comic books at the time. And I don't know if the game actually ever came out, but basically there exists a demo of a Daredevil video game, which is basically you're just kind of prowling around Hell's Kitchen and you're foiling the Kingpin's plot, and it's basically the first introduction of a detective vision, essentially in its babyish form. And I really want to see, I don't know, maybe it's kind of redundant now since Arkham City came along, but I would love to see a Daredevil game for no other reason than I just want to beat up. Like, the thing with the Daredevil game, I think you can have gigolo missions. You're just like, hey, I'm a blind, hot, copperhead guy. Would you like
Milan's
to have
right,
a
it did exist. It was unreleased.
Yeah, I know, and it's just sad. I want to play as Daredevil.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed, Ian, that I didn't say anything fucked up and weird?
No.
Well, you said
No.
you said gigolo mission, so that kind of counts.
No.
I have a few others. I have one. Now that Dexter ended, I want a Dexter game.
Really? You just go around and murder people?
I think they made one.
Oh yeah, okay. I have to scratch that one off the list.
Oh.
They actually made one.
I get it. I get it now. You know what we should get? A Suda51 to do a Doctor Strange game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not a Doctor Strange fan.
Yeah, I don't think I'd buy that.
I will.
Bill, you were saying that, I'm sorry, Alec, you said you had more?
Yeah, I want, not recently, it was actually, now that I think about it, pretty long ago, recent in my mind, they remade, you guys remember Dune, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They remade Dune to be more like the books. It was a sci-fi trilogy, and it was excellent. It was really, really good. I want to see, because, they made Dune games in the past. They made, the Battle of Arrakis, but that was a RTS. I want a really good Dune game, done, maybe Mass Effect style, but I think that'd be amazing. That falls into the category of the universe one, where it's just a massive, intricate universe where you can literally choose, you can choose to make it 1,000 years before the movies and or books, and you still wouldn't be even close to the beginning. I'd like to see the Butlerian Jihad. That would be amazing. When the all the robots rose up. Dune is absurdly long. They have their history goes the only thing that comes close to it is Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah.
That's
shit.
that's the lengths of time we're talking about. Except Doom is much more involved than Warhammer, and it has,
Okay. All right. Sorry, Alec. You're just getting to an area that I was going to ask about a minute ago. So, mostly we've been talking about characters that we'd like to see in games, but I wanted to open it up to universes also, where you don't necessarily need it to be the exact character that's in a game or something. And I was kind of that way with my Green Lantern pitch, because, I mean, I suppose you'd do Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart or Kyle Rayner or Simon Baz, and I just wanted to prove that I know all the
Simon Baz?
or Guy Gardner. I just wanted to prove that I know all the Earth Green Lanterns.
Ian, no one wants to play as Guy Gardner. Don't even put that on the list.
Whoa.
Well, no, that's the thing. Hold on, just real quick. That's the thing about Guy Gardner, is it seems that no one likes him, but he keeps, like, running the Green Lantern Corps book because he's just popular enough to get to be in a pre-established book a lot as a pseudo-main character, but not popular enough to carry his own title. But anyway...
who's Simon Baz?
He's the Muslim.
Oh, yeah, the Muslim guy.
That you got all pissed off about because you thought he was Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
No, that was me.
Anyway, no. Like, I suppose you could do the Green Lantern game that I was pitching as one of the Earth Green Lanterns. I'd prefer if you could either make your own alien Green Lantern or whatever, just to make it even more customizable and fun.
You are a Green Lantern.
That's neither here nor there. We've been mostly talking about characters, but now I want to expand it out to just universes that seem really interesting or really intricate, that you don't need it to connect to the main story. You just like the idea of the universe. You want to play around with it. And I got another two right off the bat. And I don't know what it is with me. The first two were like sci-fi space related, and this is still sci-fi, more fantasy, I suppose, with one of them. Sandman and Inception.
Ooh,
Inception
that's good.
sounds awesome.
Inception could be cool.
Yeah, if you do it like
Make
a
out of that.
heist game, that'd be fun. A heist game of Inception.
I'm shocked they didn't make a game out of that.
I don't believe Inception had a movie tie.
No, it didn't, but I'm shocked that it did.
But
Yeah, well, Nolan. He doesn't like movie tie-ins.
Well, I mean, they did it with Begins.
Yeah, and they didn't do it with Dark Knight, and that's obviously...
Well, I think part of the reason for that was that Arkham Asylum was in production, so they were like, there's no reason.
there's no that was a big part of it. They're like, it's just gonna compete with a game that's gonna be better because it's
got more time.
Well, no, I mean, movie games don't compete. They're out for like a week or two. I think the worst looking movie game I've ever seen was the Thor game that came out.
Christ.
Like, dude, it looked like a PS1 game. It was pretty bad.
Captain America one looked pretty awful, too. Super Soldier was unquestionably a Batman Arkham Asylum ripoff.
No. I actually, funny enough, I really wanted to get my hands on that Captain America video game. It looked so much fun.
Yeah. I actually.
Well, like, is it out or like I thought the Captain America Arkham Asylum clone was in production. That's why it looked so bad.
No,
I
came out with the first Avenger.
Oh, I did not know that.
I didn't think it looked that bad. I played a little bit of it. It didn't look great, but it looked okay for a movie tie-in game.
I don't know. It didn't. It looked very, very like to me. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, neither here nor there. But so yeah, I think Inception would just be an insanely fun universe because you can do whatever the fuck you want with the physics. And that's part of why I say Sandman as well. But this one you can get a little bit more, fantastical with it. And you can do a lot with story in Sandman. Sandman's a very rich story universe, and I think I'm not entirely sure about this. I'm probably like 65% that you could probably get Neil Gaiman to write.
He would totally do it.
Oh yeah. You know what kind
absolutely do it.
Alec, since you're one of the uninitiated, Sandman is a Vertigo comic, which Vertigo under DC, comic series that came out, and it just got it's getting a new run. It came out back in the 80s and 90s, and it was written by Neil Gaiman, who is more or less Jesus, and the Jesus of the comic book world.
Yeah.
And it's hands down one of the best comic books ever. So much so that an issue of it actually won an annual prize for best short story, and that pissed off the committee so much that they actually retroactively, after the award was given, at that point they said comic books are no longer eligible for this contest.
So basically, Neil Gaiman is the Jesus of the comic book world, and Alan Moore is the Old Testament God.
Alan Moore is the Marilyn Manson, the Charles Manson of the comic book universe.
He looks like him and he acts like him.
I disagree. I like Alan Moore, but
how do you disagree? He's a fucking.
I like Alan Moore's work.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I think
he's an awful human being.
I think he's
awful
a jolly. He's a jolly old cunt. I like.
He's not jolly. He is.
This is how you know that when Milan says that my family are really nice people, he does not know what the fuck he's talking about because he has no reference for what a nice person is.
Alan Moore is a miserable fucking hypocrite. That's what Alan Moore is.
He's a hypocrite? How's he hypocrite?
Oh, he is a hypocrite. Motherfuckers, like, there is no originality in comics anymore. Watchmen takes a lot of shit from other comics, and other science fiction stories.
The only reason Watchmen works as well as it does is because it's an amalgam of the DC universe.
Precisely. That, and also it borrows an entire subplot from an Outer Limits episode, so...
Yeah.
But basically, I would really like to play in the universe. I really like the Scotty Young Wizard of Oz comic books that are coming out. He's illustrating them, and I would really love to play in that universe because it's just so wacky and over the top. And partly because my mom used to read me those books in Russian, and I'm just like, I want to be a guy on a robot donkey fighting midgets. It's fun.
Sound awesome.
I would say King Kong.
Well, that's already
King Kong's universe?
Yeah. I would say I'd like to go back to Skull Island after Kong's death and see what it's like.
Interesting.
I mean, it's been done. There's a book like that, and it's fucking interesting as hell. I think, and I'm referring to Kong, King of Skull Island, it would work so much better as a game than it would as a movie. If it's getting adapted into a movie, I'll watch it, I'll probably enjoy it. It would work so much better as a video game. I want to experience the lore of Skull Island without having to have Kong be a main character.
Well, see, Bill, I think the problem with that is that, that's probably the least marketable of all the ideas we've put out.
That's totally fair. I don't care, though. I want to see it.
Because, I mean, honestly, besides Bill, who here would play a King Kong game where King Kong is not in it?
I mean, he'd be referenced.
No, but all right, he's maybe
Skull
like
Island's thing is that it has dinosaurs, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of backstory with this ancient civilization and all this different stuff that I think would be interesting to explore. Also, I just want to see what Skull Island's like after Kong's not there.
No, I'm just saying. I would be gravely disappointed if I played a King Kong game and I did not have to fight Kong or get to be Kong.
You could just call it Skull Island. You don't have to be like King Kong's birthplace, the game.
You gotta admit, if that's the name of a game, you would play it. King Kong's birthplace, the game.
And if Kong's not in it, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my question. Basically, is this set in modern times, or is this back in the 1920s?
No, this is like 1935 we're talking.
Oh, yeah, then definitely. If they kind of
we're not going... If it's in modern times, who gives a fuck? You're using real...
Yeah, no.
A fucking cell phone. You don't want to do that.
You know what's happened is basically... this game is set in the 90s, and it's basically like, oh, yo, dude, we're in Skull Island, bro! Yeah!
Whoa, dude, it's a fucking V-Rex! Whoa! As they're getting eaten. Although, by that same token, I think you could do a King Kong game set also in, like, the mid-70s. But here's why you would do it. While it'd be interesting to see a Skull Island without Kong, I think it'd also be interesting to see, like, somebody who goes to Skull Island and, like, colonizes it. And turns it into a research facility where they either clone Kong or try to make new Kongs or whatever. Also, you could throw in fucking Mechanic Kong from King Kong Escapes. I think that could be cool. But I would prefer, I think it'd be more interesting to be like, alright, here's what Skull Island's like without Kong. It's a fucking mess. And just see what it's like and just learn more about the lore and stuff. So that would be my idea.
Not bad. Like I said, I think that you're kind of getting dangerous if you have a King Kong game where you don't get to see or interact with King Kong on any level. I think.
Well, but here's
what they
Kong
should do?
King of Skull Island has these flashbacks where they go back to long before Carl Denham got there, and I think that is when you could have times where you either encounter multiple Kongs or get to play as Kongs.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, you would have these... But here's the thing, it's just like the Peter Jackson game where you play as Kong a very small percentage of the time. You're mainly playing as Jack, and I think that's where you could make it work. It's like every now and then you get a flashback and you get to beat the fuck out of Gaw as fucking Kong. So...
That'd be fine.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I still go for my idea, just having the '90s cartoon version of King Kong, except as a video game.
Oh god, we get the fucking
all the dinosaurs speak, and they're like, "Yo, I'm T-Rex, yo,"
wait,
and they start rapping.
Why do we go from the '90s King Kong cartoon to the dinosaurs talking?
Because it's the '90s and whimsical things are happening.
King Kong cartoon in the '90s, and the dinosaurs did not talk.
Well, they do now because of drugs. I don't know.
Because of drugs. Crack is whack, yo. It makes dinosaurs talk.
And after the game,
I'm just saying, if I got to see talking dinosaurs, I might start smoking about a bunch of crack.
Yeah,
basically. And after the game,
smoke the right drugs and you will.
No, I'm just saying, like there was that tangent type. There was that commercial on a couple of years ago of the girl that was smoking pot, and like her dog came up and popped up the counter and just started talking to her. And I'm just like, well, that's what you want to happen on pot. That just encourages it.
That reminds me of this bit that Lewis Black did, where he's like, the one time I took acid, my refrigerator turned into a puma and left out my window. And I tracked that son of a bitch for 3 days straight. And when I found him, I sliced open its stomach so I could grab out a beer, desperately trying to think of how I could explain this to my parents. I was fucking dying. It's like the greatest thing ever.
That is awesome.
But basically, after the game is done, after the '90s cartoon version video game of King Kong is done, there's like a PSA, and one of the dinosaurs.
Oh crap!
One of the dinosaurs like, "Hey kids, don't smoke crack."
It's like the fucking Clerks cartoon, like fucking just King Kong just comes out and is like, "This is your PSA with King Kong." Oh, he just comes out and is just like, "Hey kids, don't light people on because that's bad." And then he just fucking walks away.
I want to throw this out there because I feel like do any of you watch anime? Because Cowboy Bebop is a nice, fleshed out world that I would love to play in. His universe, what I like about it is it's almost hard science fiction. The planet, basically, it's we've terraformed a few planets. What's great is it's the most likely ones. Like, it's not like Jupiter and stuff. It's like the moons around Mars, Ios, Ganymede, Callisto, and it's just. Have you all seen Cowboy Bebop?
No, I'm not familiar with it at all.
A while ago, I've seen it. It's really
okay. You have to see that. It's considered. I'm not going to say objectively what the best is. It's my favorite anime, but it's considered one of the best. It's got the most awards and everything. It's like, I don't want to make a comparison because that tends to throw people off, but.
No, that's fine. I've heard amazing.
Yeah, as have I.
It is truly
I have
amazing.
gotten into it.
But what I love the most is it's one of the most believable sci-fi worlds. Like they'll be fueling a ship.
Wait. Sorry to cut you off, but you just made me think of something. Fucking Firefly needs a game.
Oh my god, yes. Cool. Oh, that's another thing. It's very much like Firefly. That's actually what I was going to mention. It feels so... Like, you notice how Firefly, their ship, in the kitchen area, it's furnished like a real kitchen, like it's got the wallpaper. You know? It's a very lived-in universe, and it has little details that sci-fi people love, like when his ship went offline, he was actually turning like knobs, and it was venting air so he could turn. It was doing a slight compression to air, and he was like using a piece of broken metal to scratch something on the glass so he could enter the atmosphere right because he had no power. First, I highly recommend, like, you could not be spending your time better than if you watch, it's only 26 episodes. Watch the movie before the last DVD. It is so good. But that universe is one I always... It's so down to earth. It's so believable, yet so sci-fi. Like, everything in there. It's like, yeah, that's a thing that can happen. It's just amazing. Let me throw out a few other ones that are more about the story, but I said Kill Bill, I said Kick-Ass. Sucker Punch. Did you all see Sucker Punch?
I
didn't hate
I heard horrible things.
It's not terrible.
I enjoyed it.
I don't get why, but Fort Wayne's reference... she goes to Fort Wayne at the end. So that happens.
So that way she can have a connection to Taylor from Planet of the Apes.
Right?
Oh, there's another one. Fucking Planet of the Apes could be an awesome game.
Oh, that would be great, too. That's one I forgot. Because when you guys suggested this, I was actually trying to think of, like, things that haven't been... Basically, your guys' ideas are awesome, but they're like the ideal situations of what everyone wants. Like
exactly.
Guys. You know what you have a video game? Batman. Yeah.
Guys' ideas.
That was a great setup. Where it's like, guys, you know what you have a video game? Batman.
But I loved your guys' ideas, but that's kind of what I felt like this whole time. It's like, I wonder what Ian's gonna say. Green Lantern.
We were all pretty obvious with ours. You're like, I'm gonna pull out the curveball, fucking Clockwork
Well,
Orange.
I mean, I said Inception and Sandman because those are like good universes to play in, and you'd have to play as Morpheus, but or Death, I suppose. You could play as Death. That'd be fun.
Basically,
I don't know. Death's such a sweetheart. I don't know how you'd play as her, but you could work it around somehow.
You know what would be cool? You to play as Death? You're going around and you just go to these places, you just find people, and
by the end of the game, no. Here's the thing about playing as if you get to play as Death in the game, like as like the Catwoman kind of like or like the Catwoman comparison for Arkham City. By the end of her story, you're just gonna kill yourself because all Death does is go around and kill people and then listen to their stories as they die. Like the first issue that Death is in, for those of you that haven't read it, she's just talking to Morpheus as she goes around and does her fucking job. And one of the like panels, you see her picking a baby up out of its crib. So that's not morbid or sad.
Not at all.
And I just want you to imagine playing as that character.
You know, basically, you go around the city. Nobody can see you. Everyone just kind of passes you by. And you just go, like, there's like a place on the map that you should go. And like you go into a building and you go upstairs and there's like an old lady. And she's like, and you're like, hey, come with me. And she's like, okay. And then you take her to another place somewhere outside of time, and she tells you your story, and that's the game. It's very
that's all you do is Death.
Actually,
so that'd be
that could be made on a pretty low budget, like The Path. I think you can do a Death game like that.
Oh, The Path! I love The Path.
No, but like here's the thing about the Death game: you could do that, and it would be the most immersive thing because you're either going to break down in tears or kill yourself after you play that game.
Damn, it's like Fallout 3 all over again.
Seriously, play The Walking Dead. Oh my god, play it.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, not just, I know, like, idealized situations, but that's basically all this is. It's just what characters that you like or that you can think of. You don't necessarily have to like Green Lantern to admit that'd be a good-ass game.
You sold me on the Green Lantern game, by the way. I would so fucking play that. Oh, and
my god.
Destroy the city thing. Oh, my god.
Guys.
Right?
Hey, guys, I know. Night Watch, the video game.
Not bad.
I'd try that. I'd play the demo.
That'd be cool. You just play as the Night Watch and the Day Watch. You can make your own character, and you can choose which team you play for. Oh, it's gonna be. I gotta see if I gotta call up my cousin and see if there's a game like that in Moscow.
I feel like there's a possibility that someone's gonna make that. I don't know. When you said that, it sounds like something someone's gonna make. The Night Watch, doesn't it sort of sound like that? I don't know.
I've seen posters for that type of video game in Moscow when I was there, and I'm like, did it come out? There's literally nothing here in the West. I'm like, is it just a Russian thing? God damn it. I gotta call up Artyom.
Let me say 2 more things. One is kind of weird, like Clockwork Orange, but I always wanted to, because they don't do enough undersea games, in my opinion.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So much you can do in the sea. The Abyss. You guys remember them?
I'd play that. I'd totally play that.
It's fucking awesome. I want, like, and it could be, man, there's so many things. The submersed parts, it could be, you have to maintain them, and then everything changes once you get to the city. Like, I don't know, I just think it would be an excellent story-driven game.
Aquaman. Aquaman is a video game. That would.
I'd try it.
Yeah, they did. Aquaman was one of the worst superhero video games ever made. Remember that terrible Aquaman game?
There was an Aquaman game?
No.
You guys didn't play that? Oh my god, it was so bad.
Like, there was a wait, hang on, this is an Aquaman game?
Oh, it's so bad. Like, it's so bad.
Alex, that noise you made, like, I'm gonna make you make that noise all the time.
Oh, Milan.
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, everyone, I gotta admit something. I am romantically in love with Alex. I love
Well, I'm just about to watch some game footage from Aquaman the game, because I didn't know this existed, so let's look at
I'm gonna do that too.
Hang on, I gotta look this up now.
Yeah,
Well, let me just say this by the same token, in terms of, like, bad under the sea games. They made a game based on fucking Shamu from SeaWorld.
Oh, are you serious?
How does that even, what?
That's a thing.
How does it even play? Is it like an Echo the Dolphin type game? Because I
don't know. You just go around and fucking do shit. I don't know how it works. Oh my god, there is an Aquaman video game.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's one of the most famous, horrible superhero games ever made. It's really, really bad.
Hold on, I'm watching some playthrough footage. Bill, if you're watching the same video I am, the final score, old school console, Aquaman Battle for Atlantis, skipped about a minute ahead.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Google Images right now.
Okay.
What is the gameplay like? Is it like a fighting game? Is it like some bullshit?
It looks like an adventure game. Yeah, it looks like an adventure game.
It's an adventure game. It's just...
It's based on the 90s Aquaman, so it should be cool, but it's not.
It's not. It's really, really bad. I actually played a little. I'm like, I'll give Aquaman a chance, because I always kind of... I was like, why would they... I'm sorry, but after, like, the 80s, he should have been able to control water.
Well, his wife can.
Yeah, I know. That's like, what the fuck? Just add that to his powers. You did it with Superman. Superman used to wear pajamas, and he can only jump over buildings. Now he can pull a fucking planet. You can't give Aquaman water powers? I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What's with the odd loyalty to the canon with Aquaman? It's like, what? It's such a weird character to be stringent about.
Yeah, right. It's like, who gives a fuck about like Aquaman lore? It's like, just be fun about it.
Yeah,
you know,
it can't be nearly as weird as the Submariner who has wings on his ankles. I still don't understand.
I don't know how that makes sense.
Yeah, that's.
I play a Namor game just to have see Namor like go onto the surface, just like start killing people randomly, just like fucking hammer.
No, Namor is just gonna stand around on the surface, just being a dick to passersby. It's like he's doing speedos.
Namor, like, do Namor fans exist?
I mean, I'm a Namor fan because he's just such a dick, and like, I'm Namor. Fuck
Remember the Dazzler from Marvel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I'm watching some gameplay from this. I'll put it up on the screen for everybody. I'm watching some gameplay from this Aquaman game. It looks really bad.
This thing doesn't even play for me. This thing doesn't even fucking play. I'm like, what the fuck?
There's also a off topic, there was also a Jaws game that I really enjoyed. Jaws Unleashed.
Oh, I knew it! I fucking knew it! Bill is gonna bring up a Jaws game.
Listen, Jaws was fun, man. I don't give a shit if there was no plot in or anything, if, like, it was absurd that Jaws could, like, kill an orca. I don't give a fuck. I could go around...
Jaws was a supernaturally large shark.
Yeah, but no, but even that, he's not
Megalodon. Like,
yeah, no, here's the thing, Jaws, or Bruce, rather, still not orca-sized, 20-25 feet. But, dude, there is a scene where you destroy SeaWorld as Jaws. How is that not awesome? You get to go around Amity Island and fucking eat swimmers and attack things, and you have the theme music, and you have the entire John Williams, entire soundtrack, not just the theme playing behind you. It's awesome.
Nice. That's cool.
I love it.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I'm trying to think. If you're gonna do a Jaws game, I think you have to do what you're talking about with Kong there, and you have to split it up between characters. And I think that would actually make it kind of. I think that would actually kind of detract from it, because part of what would make the story good is being the guy on the ship, afraid that Jaws is going to kill you. So it'd be kind of awkward to attempt to kill yourself.
A Quint prequel game.
Yeah,
you just go around as Quint, just fucking massacring sharks.
That'd be fun.
I mean,
it would teach people the wrong lesson.
It'd be fun for like a half hour, but. At that point, I'd be like, all right, I'm done massacring innocent animals. I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, the problem with it is, at that point, you would just be like teaching children, kill sharks.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we kill millions of sharks every year, and they kill like maybe, I don't know, 10 of us.
For every here's the statistic for anyone that's interested. For every 2 humans killed by sharks, humans have killed 1 million sharks.
I think the odds are stacked against the sharks here, guys. I got news for you.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at all the records, and I mean, this isn't an exact statistic, because not everyone that was killed by a shark we know was killed by a shark, because guess what? Sometimes there's nothing left to tell us.
Right.
Sometimes it's just missing at sea. But anyway, so for every known human to have been murdered by a shark, or eaten, rather. I guess animals don't murder you.
But sharks also don't usually consume the humans they kill. It's usually just from the sheer vitality of the
but anyway, for every human that was deceased by shark,
right? Fair enough.
there are 1 million sharks that have been killed by people. That's this current statistic.
So what I hear from that is that sharks are a horrible menace that need to be wiped out.
What do you call 1 million sharks dead for every 2 humans dead? A good start.
That's racist.
This Aquaman.
It's actually speciesist.
Yeah, it's more speciesist.
This Aquaman game isn't too bad, actually.
Shut up, Milan. Shut the fuck up. You remind me of Brian when he was being a contrarian. It's like, what do you think of Titanic? Worst movie ever made.
Everything I put you through, like the whole descending from the ceiling as a naked sex spider, that didn't make you say shit. But saying that Aquaman, his video game, is good.
It's like a pain in my ass.
It took him a while to a bad game for Alec to tell him to shut the fuck up.
After I threatened to sexually assault you on various occasions, you tell me to shut up after I say that Aquaman is a good game.
You gotta admit, Alec, this is weird.
Okay.
I'm happy. I'm so happy.
Alec's standard for offense is in a very strange
it's
area.
in a weird position.
Usually there's like a fairly simplistic sliding scale, like, you can insult someone's video games, you can insult someone's family, you can insult someone personally, and then you can start to make like vague sexual threats, and that's at the point where they go, shut the fuck up. But no, Milan starts on the other end of the spectrum and then works his way to insulting video games, and it's at that end of the spectrum that Alec gets offended.
Because
it's Aquaman.
That's why I reply to that. Just because, and shut up.
Okay, anyway.
I have 2 more, but one of them I just have to throw out right quick because I've been playing the Mega Man series, and I love Proto Man. I want a Proto Man game.
Okay.
And it doesn't actually matter how you do it. You can do it like 3D or whatever. I don't care.
My friend Drew's a big Proto Man fan. Did you see any of the It got scrapped because Mega Man's in development hell. Did you see any of the... It kind of looked like Samus. They were doing a 3D Mega Man game. And it looked really cool.
Yeah, I saw.
And it's going to be a first person.
I saw a little bit of that. I don't know.
That just looked really cool.
Yeah, I'm going
but it
through
got
the
scrapped.
2D Mega Mans. But another one, and this is because of point-and-click adventure games, sorta, and the sort of comedy. You know, the people who make, like, Telltale games also made, what are those?
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. They also did the Jurassic Park. I don't know if this would play like those, but I kind of want the Cornetto trilogy, even though I haven't seen The World's End. I think that would be fucking hilarious, especially if they wrote it. You know, Shaun of the Dead, Hotfoot, the people who did that, Simon Pegg, and
Okay.
yeah, that would be fun.
I remember having this CD, the game on PS1 back in Moscow, and it was just a bunch of little games, like little demo parts on this one disc, and they basically had a demo for a Jurassic Park game, and you were basically a T-Rex running around killing people, and basically you ran into a building. It was like a side scroller, and then you ran into a building, and the walls covered up, and you couldn't see what you were doing, and the humans were shooting at you, and you would just die. I'm like, how am I supposed to murder people if the wall is in the way? I mean, for Christ's sake.
In this King Kong game that I mentioned earlier, the only way if it's made complete is if you can play as Kong and as the V-Rex. and just
is that
have
what it's
those,
called? The V-Rex?
In the Jackson movies, it's called the V-Rex. In original, it's T-Rex.
Okay.
All right. Let me just throw out one other thing. I love Sheep Raider, and I'm always very careful about how I pronounce that title.
Why?
Because it's dangerously close to a very strange sentence. Like, you know.
Wait. Sheep Rider.
Raider. If you pronounce Sheep Raider wrong, and then you say something strange in front of it, that creates a very awkward sentence.
Wait,
I love Sheep Raper.
But Ian, if you make that mispronunciation, I'd be like, this kid needs some speech classes.
Right? No, I mean, it's just if you say it too quick, it sounds like raper.
You have to enunciate it.
Sheep Raider. Sheep Raider.
Bobby,
it's beginning to sound like raper.
Is it? Alright.
Bobby,
If you say it too fast, it messes it up.
Sheep
But
Raider.
anyway, I love Sheep Raider, and I would love another Looney Tunes puzzle game.
Right. Bobby,
What about an actual Looney Tunes puzzle game?
Bobby, okay, before we move on from the sheep raping, Bobby basically asked me this question in my Q&A. So, hillbillies fuck sheep, so the Australian hillbillies fuck kangaroos. And the answer to that is no, because here in Australia, kangaroos fuck hillbillies because everything's topsy-turvy.
Okay. Anyway, no, I would love another Looney Tunes puzzle game, because I was talking to Alec about this before we started recording. Sheep Raider was great, because I love puzzle games, but usually in puzzle games, it's like they're trying to be fairly realistic or something, so you're just trying to solve essentially, real-world problems, like go find this key and figure out how to open this door and stuff like that. But with Sheep Raider, you'd put like a magnet on a fishing pole and like pull a bomb across a plane. Awesome. That's just awesome. I would love another Looney Tunes-esque puzzle game. I think a title that would work really well with it is either Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, or it'd be different, but I think you could still do a lot with it. Is if you did Bugs, Daffy Duck, and Elmer Fudd. I think that would be a fun dynamic to play with too.
Tom and Jerry could work too.
Yeah,
Because you could have.
but Tom and Jerry's a little too morbid, because the thing with Sheep Raider is you were just stealing sheep. You weren't like eating them or anything.
Wait. How is Tom and Jerry morbid like that?
Well, no, because you'd have to play as Tom.
No, you could play as Jerry. You could play as both.
Well, how would it be a puzzle game if you're playing as Jerry?
Getting out of
Because you'd have to escape from Tom. And also,
Well,
like...
that'd be a survival game.
Yeah, no, but you'd also be like,
or you
let
could
me set up
be
this
this way
trap.
around. You could be setting up Tom for like traps and
Oh, survival horror.
A survival horror Tom and Jerry game.
That would be hilarious.
I would play that in a heartbeat.
All right, did anyone have any other last-minute suggestions? Because I feel like we're close to wrapping up,
I agree.
All right, I'm gonna
nothing.
take that as the end of the show. So now we have brief announcements. Okay, everybody, next week there will be no episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I know it hurts me just as much as it hurts you, but do not despair. For the week after that, on Thursday, November 21st at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Geeky Gentleman live show will be there for you and me and everyone in need.
Yes, because there are people in need of, like, I need more Geeky Gentlemen!
I feel that way sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah.
I can, like, record, like, I don't know, like, spin-offs of Geeky Gentlemen, send them to you if you have, like, a dire need. It's just me in front of my fucking webcam just talking to myself.
Yeah, it's like, it'd be weird. You'd be, like, filming one half of a conversation.
Yeah, I'm like talking to someone who doesn't really exist, but miming like it's just inaudible. It's like you can't hear the other person, but
Totally.
It's just like, yeah, Milan, I really do agree with that.
And you leave
No, Milan, not like that.
Milan, don't talk about my mother like that.
Oh, Bill, I've never talked about your mother. She is a beautiful, kind, powerful, independent woman, and I love her.
Now, before you go any further, let me just warn you. Stop there now.
Bill, I gotta announce something. Your mother wanted to tell you this, but
she didn't.
I'm your new daddy. She and I are getting married, and yeah.
Milan, you ever read one of those like horror stories where a stepfather gets introduced into a situation and the stepson goes crazy and tries to kill the whole family?
Yeah.
Those never happen, right?
Nah.
Never.
Don't worry.
Ian, what else is going on with the live show?
Well, we're gonna have special guests. We're gonna do a contest of some sorts. It'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna be reviewing whatever happened to the Cape Crusader during the live show because we've talked about it constantly on here. So that'll be a lot of fun, and we'll do brief Q&A segments here and there too to help fill time. And I don't know, maybe Milan will do an internet challenge or something. We'll have an on the spot Jebediah Springsteen, I'm sure.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. Should be some lulls, and there'll be a special surprise for those that get there early. You'll get to see something really fun. You'll be some of the first to see it.
You get to see.
So,
yeah.
So everybody,
dick jokes.
Everyone, before we go, I have one more announcement. Everyone, I have a podcast called Transmissions from Innsmouth, the Conqueror Worm podcast. It's basically it's me living in Innsmouth. Everyone, guess what? I'm married. I'm living. Oh, actually, you know what? It's me pretending to be a devil living in Innsmouth. And it's pretend, and it's fun, and I interview Pinhead, and the first episode is out, and it's for free, and you should go out and look for it. You can find it under Transmissions from Innsmouth, and you will love it. You will love it,
or just type in your name. It pops up that way, too. I found it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have one. Anyway, I have an announcement as well, by the same vein.
Oh, sure.
I also have a brand new podcast that just came out this week. Not on iTunes, but it's on my YouTube channel. I just started a podcast with an actual loyal fan of Geeky Gentlemen, with my good friend, Super DM64, otherwise known as Dylan McCandless. He's a fellow Sons of Sarazawa. He's a fan of Geeky Gentlemen. He's all around a cool guy, and we decided to do our own man-on-man podcast, and it's not nearly as gay as it sounds. Where basically we just talk about crazy shit. It is called The Demons from Outer Space. And the first episode is now live on my YouTube channel, so go ahead and check it out. It's a lot of fun.
Cool.
All right.
Alex, I'm sure you've got a podcast.
Yeah. I have a podcast. No, I don't have a podcast.
I have a podcast called My Ass.
Yes.
All right, everybody. So once again, Geeky Gentleman 100th episode live in 2 weeks, November 21st. We kind of messed up with scheduling and getting the time frame to work on the week that it should have been, but I wanted to give a bunch of notice, and something else came up for me, so it'll be on the 21st, so we just can't do an episode next week, otherwise it won't be 100th episode.
Yeah, so, sorry.
So you'll just have to, hopefully this one will keep you content. It should be a lot of fun, so check it out, mark your calendars, set your clocks, or get in your time machines and meet us there in 2 weeks.
I
don't know what's happening. I'm scared.
We're humming the Doctor Who theme. Okay. So everybody, thank you very much for listening. And until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
I'm the Fanatic.
And I am the Madman.
And I'm the Black Guy.
And we are here, Geeky Gentlemen, and we will be discussing things.
Yeah, I finally did it. I remembered this time.
Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
Bye.